concerts do you have?
I think 6,000 or 5,000, 6,000. I don't know, I never counted. When I was living in East Los Angeles, I took the bus to the central Los Angeles, and then I stopped by the all vinyl stores back in the day. The Plugs, Johnny Chingas, beautiful, Daniel Barnes.
This is my friend Shin Miyata, and he's much more than a record collector. He owns a small record label in Tokyo that distributes primarily Chicano music. He also takes bands, mainly from East LA, to Japan to perform live. Nobody else in Japan is doing this kind of work.
He said that music from East LA, Chicano music, Chicano culture, it's good. That's he believes that.
Whether people know it or not out there, he's essentially a tastemaker. You know, he's a curator.
He's a musicologist in the sense that he knows music from all over.
He knows the history of Chicano music and that he understands the Mexican root.
I like to frame Chicano culture as being specific. It's Mexican-American activists or Mexican-Americans that are involved in enhancing the culture.
His love for Chicano music began back in the early 80s when he was a college student working at a used record shop in Tokyo.
そこで、フラッシュディスクランチっていう下北沢の有名なお店ですけども、そこの椿さんっていうオーナーが2ヶ月か3ヶ月に1回アメリカ・ロサンゼルスに行ってレコードを買って帰ってくるんですけども、その時に、ロサンゼルス今こういうチカーノのものが流行ってんだよみたいなものでいろんなものを紹介してくれて、そこで出会ったのがこのティエラっていうバンドだったんですね。で、このに入ってるティギャザーっていう曲がすごいロマンチックで、惚れ惚れしちゃいまして。
He started collecting records, movies, and books, and just became obsessed.
Yeah, Richie La Bamba, of course. いっぱいあるんですけども、この本にすごい影響を受けていて、Somos Chicanos, Strangers in Our Land, デビッド・ゴメス。この本を読みながら、ティエラとかエル・チカーノを聞きながら自分でこうイーストロサンゼルスのイメージを作ってもう我慢ができなくなってやっぱりどうしてもイーストロサンゼルスに行きたいって思ったんです。
He took a year off of college in 1985 and moved to East LA.
誰も知らなかったんですけれどもなんとかイーストロサンゼルスで、いわゆるホームステイさせてくれる、家族が見つかってそれはもう本当にイーストレイのど真ん中のシティテラスというところだったんですけども
His homestay was with two men who were a couple.
They always took me to many restaurants, theaters, like a church activities. Every day they go somewhere after the job. They show me a lot. Yeah, this house I used to live here. This is a big house. Backyard is large, big. Yeah, we used to have a party sometimes in the backyard. After I finished English school, even though my English is not so good, I went to the East Los Angeles College. I started to go there to study Chicano studies. 大学卒業しなくちゃいけなかったので東京に帰ってきてそれでいろんなことがあっていろんな仕事をしたんですけども BMG ジャパンの方に移ってそこでウォーの担当になったりとかして、その頃ちょうどローライダーマガジンで書き始めてたりもしていたのでもうたくさんこの宮田真の人類学っていうのがあってここにいうところにずっと文化の話をバリオで何が起きてきたかとか歴史とか文化や
Shin was writing about issues of social consciousness, and he developed a following as more and more Japanese people were becoming interested in the Chicano culture.
Maybe we just seem like a rebel culture or something. It might give the youth a sense of freedom, liberty. That maybe their lives are very constrained.
Yeah, after I quit my job at BMG Japan, I was kind of depressed. So I didn't know what I should do. So I came here to think about my life. And I went to the Sound of Music and I bought a bunch of the new CDs. As soon as I started to listen to the Quetzal, I'm very fascinated. The music is very fresh, very strong. So I came back to Japan. I made these decisions. I should be independent. I should continue to be independent. I should just start my company.
He called it Barrio Gold Records. Quetzal's album was the first record that they would put out in Japan.
Wednesday night, baby. Wow. Tokyo, we're here.
And he was like, I want to release this in Japan and I want to do all these things, you know, and he had a vision already. And so that vision was based so much in humanity and caring for humanity and building relationships between the two cultures, but to do it in a way that was dignified.
いろんなそのカルチャー、サブカルの中で、チカーノのことが起きてるんですけれども、このケッツァルというグループはその音楽のシーンの中で一番中心にある新しいムーブメントを作っていくバンドです。
チカーノミュージックに関して一番憧れるポイントっていうのは音楽と聴き手の関係なんですよね。どのくらいの気持ちでその音楽を愛しているのか、どの気持ちでその音楽を必要としているのか、そういうものを日本に紹介したかった。
踊りましょう。Let's dance。踊りましょう。踊りましょう。踊りましょう。
We are Quetzal. We are from East Los Angeles, and very happy to be here.
It's just a trip, just these stereotypes that go on in your head before you get here, and then once you're here, all of that is shattered, and you realize that, like, hey, you know.
Yeah, Chicanos and Japanese people have a lot in common.
Yeah, sentiment, very similar.
We have this tendency to think that we don't matter outside of our community. Shin was the one who was the first one to turn on a light to me and to other musicians that, you know, people appreciate our music outside of this area.
Exposed to the other culture, and we got to meet other bands, and in particular we played with a conjunto band from Japan, which,
that was real.
Which plays, really... you know, border music, Mexican music.
I can't believe it. I was in Japan and visited my family, and Quetzal was in my hometown to do the gig.
The first show I went to where Martha and Quetzal were playing, it was a Cholo event. They had the right clothes, they had the right stance, they had the tattoos even.
People got to really see a different thing happen in this space besides just like the Vatos Locos and the tattoos and the bombs.
So you had Quetzal playing his jarana, and then you had Marta on the cajon. Tex Nakamura was there with his harmonica. David Gomez was doing the DJing. And I'm reading poetry, man, with these great people behind me. It was like the most amazing thing you ever did, like a concert with all these people that were just there for us, you know, because we were Chicano. That to me was quite powerful.
I almost got the tears in my eyes to see those people into the like a Chicano music like that. That's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
A lot of these guys that come to our shows are working class. They're the mechanics, they're the farmers, you know, the janitors of Japan, and they identify with that struggle.
Barrio Gold Records was initially very successful, but once people started streaming instead of buying CDs, the music industry changed dramatically.
He was left out in the cold, and he has had to really kind of scrape by and do this as a labor of love. I know it's been very difficult for him, but he somehow keeps that flame burning.
And you know, it can be difficult, but at least he functions. He's able to do it, and that's only creating more of the culture.
He's just doing what he loves. That's it. That's what we all should strive to do, right?
The things I adapted from here is like spirits and attitude. You know, I've been independent like almost 20 years now. That's the things. You know, I don't want to be belonging to anyone. I want to be, you know, independent. That is the main things I learned from this neighborhood.
Shin actually expanded his distribution to include the oldies and 60s and 70s rock groups that he first heard when he lived in East LA.
The first album that Shin and I collaborated on was this album by the Village Callers, the first Latin funk band. He got additional funds that I don't know if he borrowed or he used his own personal money to take this album and have it remastered. And I said, Shin, that's incredible, man. You didn't really have to go to that expense. And he said to me, oh, no. He said, this is my contribution to Chicano music.
He's trying to, I think, put in the historical record that our narrative has value. And he's making sure that the world knows it.
Keeping Barrio Gold afloat is a constant struggle, but he still finds ways to take bands to Japan.
After years of distributing our records, he finally put out a formal invitation with the whole tour plan behind it, and we were on board. We wanted to go to Japan and play music. It's the dream. We were there for what, 12 days? 12 dates, and I'm not sure, maybe 10 shows.
12 dates, 13 shows.
Something like that,
Crazy.
yeah.
Thank you, Shin.
Showed us all the cool places, lots of culture that he shared with us through food, through the temples that we went to. And of course, we got to meet amazing people out there.
We had a lot of fun out there, maybe too much fun.
I think Shin was our first glimpse into how to be a professional musician. We had not had it. We got Shinified. And since then, we've just been trying to maintain that Shin level right here.
A lot of good stuff he has. A lot of good stuff. Okay, so I gotta go.
Okay. See you later.
Yes, see you later.
He's as passionate about music as I am, and especially about Chicano artists. Sometimes he pointed things out in my own backyard that I didn't even know about, and that's a great relationship. Right? You know, it starts with music, and then it kind of bloomed from there.
East Side, there's a long history about music and the traditions about music, but it's very hybrid. Always, this neighborhood makes music hybrid.
I understand how his love for Chicano music would cause him to do what he does, but I also wonder, is there something even deeper that's driving him?
We used to be romantic, I think, but we forgot. We forgot because always, you know, living in Japan, surviving in Japanese society, it's not easy at all. We always have a lot of pressure to participate in societies. We have to be employee in the big corporations. We have to graduate high universities. It's a bullshit, I feel. So people forgot about that kind of feelings about we used to be the romantics.
Shin is trying to put the romance back into people's lives. And if that isn't a noble cause, then I don't know what is.
Many years ago, if you were not Japanese, you couldn't get your records into Japan to play. And now things have changed. So I feel honored that my records are even being played, and I owe that to Shin.
He's one of those very rare cats that is committed to cultural exchange and to a culture of understanding.
He's an ambassador of culture from LA. That's what he's doing. He's a messenger. He's bridging the gap.
What Shin is actually creating is a way that two different, completely different worlds can find a way to come together.
In his own way, Shin Miyata is making the world a better place. And people love him for it.
僕ら晴れたら空に豆まいて晴れ豆でまたもう一回ジョーバターンを呼びたいと思ってますので、よろしくお願いします。すみません、俺だけじゃなくて本当にいろんな人が関わってこれこんなのできてるので、本当にまだ飲んでってください。本当によろしくお願いします。